Are we alive? I'm always hopeful if we are live. Are we live? I feel like we're alive. Am I centered into the screen? I feel like I'm centered in the screen. All right, somebody tell me I'm alive. Somebody say something. I'm always in such a panic that nobody can hear me. Okay, thank you, Tolowit. That's all I wanted to hear this morning or this afternoon. Wow, we have exactly 5 people online. Hey, Kylie, good to see you, man. So this is going to be a short and quick one, to say the least. But I hope you're alive. I am alive. I am very much alive. Anyway, welcome aboard. It is Andre. Good to see you, brother. It is July 4th here in the United States, which, if you're an American, is a big doggone deal as we celebrate Independence Day here in America. You know, playing that John Philip Sousa music and all. Uh, Abukar, good to see you, man. Johnny Five, of course, good to see you too. So I think there's got to be something wrong here because it says there's only 4 viewers on, but clearly more people are posting. So I'm going to start ignoring that particular statistic. Anyway, so a couple of things. I'm going to make this one quick. I've got a couple of people who had some questions. Uh, there you go. We celebrate Independence Day and go into debt with all the sales. Roger that. So even though we're going to have a quick one today, I do have one in particular, very interesting question I received via email, and I do not remember the person who asked the question, but I'm going to stall for a little bit. It's a TCP sequencing number question, which I thought was kind of interesting. But other than that, it's going to be kind of a slow day. Uh, my celebrations tonight are going to be very quiet. I'm going to be staying here at home. Um, I'm going to be sticking to my low carbohydrate diet. I'm going to be having a little piece of steak and some beautiful crab legs. So we're going to have a surf and turf, as we say here in the United States. And I am going to splurge and let myself have a glass of good Napa Cabernet Sauvignon. But other than that, we're going to be good. Party time, except if you're a Brit. They lost. Well, sometimes the Brits are like, did we really lose, though, when you really think about these things? Anyway, so guys, we start here at 2 o'clock and we end. Today I'm going to end early because, no offense, but I want to have a little fun. But thank you, Abukar. I appreciate your kind words, man. Americans do take their Independence Day quite seriously, to say the least, and it's always a fun time. When I was a younger man, I used to go uh, and buy fireworks. Now, when I'm saying buying fireworks, I'm not talking about a couple of firecrackers or a sparkler. I'm talking about the 2-inch mortars and things like that that you could fire, big exploding things and all that. And I'm afraid that I turned my poor daughter into quite the pyromaniac. And boy, we used to have a lot of fun. Our hair would be burning back when I had hair, and just all the smell of the cordite in the air. It was a lot of fun. As of late, I take it a lot easier. Sorry, we got incoming noise as usual, which is always good, though. I have no problem. Okay. What was I going to say? All right. So again, really a pretty quick day today. So guys, just because it's a quick day, I'm only going to be running 20 pyromania. Is that a bad thing? It is not a bad thing. Uh, there's a very famous Monty Python movie, Blackbeard or something like that. And like in they had beards. They were all smoking and smoldering all the time. That was us. Uh, we used to get like 3 couples, and they would each put in $1,500, and we got some big fireworks back then. We'd be out in the country. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. All right. So anyway, let me see what we got going here. First of all, you guys need to know that I am going to be. Let me make sure I'm not about to lie. Hold on a minute. All right, so we will definitely be doing a show on Wednesday. But just so you guys know, I am leaving July 9th, which is this Saturday, and I'm going to be heading out to Denver, Colorado, because Mike is going to be grandpa times three, and my soon to be here new granddaughter will be showing up, and I'm really looking forward to meeting her. So I want to be there for that. Yellowbeard, that is the name, Dave. Good on you. Uh, so from the 9th to the 16th, uh, Monday, July 11th, I'm pretty sure we got Elaine Batzer coming in, which I'm very excited to see Elaine. It's not a show you want to miss. And Elaine will be in. I really haven't talked to Dave about this. I will probably try to be a part of it if we can set it up as a Zoom. Otherwise, I'm going to count on Dave and Elaine to just have their own little meeting. Either way is absolutely fine with me. Elaine Batzer has probably one of the finest programs in the United States for getting. It's a high school program, and you definitely need to check out. She does a great job. Okay, so first of all, just because y'all are kind enough to show up today, we have 50% discount on all of my uh, products. In particular, I should be careful, Mike, not all our products. I always tell people that if they want to pass any form of certification, you need three things. You need some kind of instruction, which is either instructor led or videos. You need some kind of reference, which is a book. And then you need some kind of way to test yourself, and that's practice questions. Those three things are always the things that anybody's going to need. In fact, it's not even for IT certification, almost anything. So the bottom line is that just because you're nice enough to show up, we're offering a 50% discount on combined bundles. You got to get an ebook and practice questions, okay? But you get those at 50% off. To take advantage of this deal, all you have to do is go to www.total7.com and check out the offerings that they have there. For example, if you're interested in Net Plus, all you have to do is put the Net Plus ebook. This is the ebook, folks, not the physical book. Put the ebook into your cart, and then put the practice questions. Keep in mind, here at Total Seminars, we call our practice questions the Total Tester. So then you pick the Network Plus Total Tester. You have those two things. All you have to do is put them in there, and then just before checkout, use the code. Use the code Liberty. There you go. America. So use the code Liberty, Liberty, and you get all this at half off, which is a ridiculously good deal. David's already posted the specials right into the chat window, and it's a great opportunity. I recommend you take advantage of that. Absolutely great. Oh, yes, David did want me to remind you the discount code will not work today because everybody at Total Seminars has got the day off. So using this Liberty discount code will work starting tomorrow, and but do wait if you're it's a big day for the Americans. What can I say, guys? You know, we live July 4th around here. All right. Trevor Sheridan. Trevor? Yeah. Okay, good to see you. John Tyler. Hello, Mike, and all those on the chat. Hello, John Tyler. Bradley Peterson. I just wanted to thank you. You were the instructor many. You know, you're in trouble when they say, instead of just saying years ago, then they say many years ago. But you know, you're in big trouble when Bradley says many years ago. Yes, I am old as dirt. I know the feeling. Help me get my A plus. Well, I was always glad to be there for you, Bradley, and welcome aboard. Also, guys, do keep in mind we have a Discord channel. Um, well, technically, I don't have a Discord channel. It is run by somebody outside of the Mike Meyers Total Seminars world, a good friend of ours, which is also a nice way of saying we have no control over it. David put a link into the chat window at 206 for the Discord invitation. Please check it out. It has become more and more popular all the time. If you have more complicated questions that don't really lead well to an AMA type format, it's a great place to go, and I can't recommend it enough. And so definitely please check that out. All right, what else we got going? Oh, Bradley, I was not offended at all, sir. I'm good being old. Uh, all right. So what do we have? Again, guys, it is going to be kind of a short day today. Yeah, Andre, we have a Discord channel. Mike is just a guest dish. I absolutely agree with that. We've got a lot of great administrators on the Discord channel who've really made it into quite the location for those of you who are interested in certification and general technical knowledge. and I can't recommend it enough. Okay. Congratulations on being pap pap times three. Yeah, so the most exciting part about the third grandkid is that it's going to be a girl finally. So we had two boys, which is great. Love, I got two great grandsons. They all look like their dad. I'd make a joke. I call the dad the Viking. This guy is like 6'4", blonde haired, blue eyed. I'm going to get him a big horned helmet for one of his birthdays. Uh, but yeah, so both of my grandsons look like Swedish runway models. But so I'm kind of excited we get a girl in because girls are easier if nothing else. All right, so what I do want to do right now in our relatively short amount of time today, first of all, guys, if anybody's interested in doing a quick contest for free practice questions, what I need you to do is right now type in yes into the chat window, okay? I need it, it's kind of old home week, which is fine. But if anybody's jonesing to get some practice questions and want to do a quick little competition to get those, you are more than welcome to do that. But I need somebody to type in there and go, I want to have a competition. Otherwise, we'll just let it slide. It's not that big of a deal. Mohammed, you got to get some of your brothers to and sisters. Oh, Tulawit, you're hilarious. All right. All right, so we'll do a quick little competition then too. All right, which is great because we have such a small. Hey Don, there you are. We have such a small group today, which is fine. Then gives everybody better odds. I had an interesting question come in via email. Did it come through email or did it come through LinkedIn? It came through email, and it was a very simple question that I thought was very interesting, and it had to do with TCP sequence numbers. So when we talk about TCP/IP, TCP/IP is independent of any layer 1, layer 2 medium. But the reality is that pretty much the whole world runs on more than anything else these days, Ethernet. And if it's not Ethernet, it's running on a protocol that mimics a lot of Ethernet. Things like DOSIS and ATM have a lot of commonality. 802.11 have a lot of commonality to good old Ethernet. And so if you learn Ethernet, you learn pretty much how everything travels around. And Ethernet is the de facto standard for most of our moving our bits around on the internet. So when we talk about TCP/IP, in fact, let's not even talk about IP. It's certainly IP, but we talk about TCP. It's going to be dependent on the payload size of your particular topology, not technology. Let's say Ethernet. And Ethernet has a maximum of 1,500 bytes, unless you do something weird, something called jumbo frames. We're not going to get into that right now. So basically, the most data you can haul in any individual Ethernet uh, frame is going to be 1,500 bytes. Now, that's great, but if you think about what we do on the internet, if we want to copy a file, download a new driver, play music, or whatever it is, the chunk of data that we're trying to get is going to be a lot bigger than 1,500 bytes. So, what we run into in this situation is the server part has to chop the data up into 1,500 byte chunks so that it can be transported. That's fine, but you run into some real issues there. Like number one, so let's say I'm just trying to get a Word document from my file server and bring it onto my computer. So all you're doing is dragging it, right? You're just going and dragging it. But there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on besides that, right? So in particular, the sending system has to take that chunk of data and break it up into 1,500 byte pieces. Now, that's okay, but there can be problems. Like, so let's just say I've got something 1,500. Got a 3 megabyte Word document, so that means I'm going to break it up into 200. I think that math's right. 200 1,500 byte chunks. How do we get them in order? All right. the other thing is that we assume that the file server just sends one, then sends another, then sends another. But things happen on the internet, folks, and sometimes these packets get sent out of order, or they're received out of order and stuff like that. So what we use in the TCP world is something called a sequence number. I don't know if you've ever had a bunch of packages delivered, and you get like 5 boxes. It'll say box 1 of 5. Obligatory yawn every time I get on them. So box 1 of 5, box 2 of 5, box 3 of 5, box. You get the idea. Well, the sequence number works very much like that. The sequence number does a lot of good. Not only does it allow the receiving system to reassemble the packets in order so that we can get our Word document or whatever it is, but it does some other nice stuff too. For example, if a packet comes in mauled, somebody started to run a blow dryer or something, and you get one bad packet. Instead of making your system resend the entire file, the receiving system can say, oh, packet 121 out of 200 is bad. Please resend that. And that's all built intrinsically into the TCP protocol. And it's a very, very good thing. And we like it because it does a good job. Sorry, Dave's typing something amusing. Unfortunately, guys, while Dave's story is amusing, I'm going to keep it to myself out of fear. Are we going to have so anyway, that's what a sequence number does. A sequence number allows us to break up files or videos or whatever it is we're watching and have it reassembled properly on the receiving side. That's all it is. Are we going to have contests for vouchers anytime soon? Because I need to take my A plus and I'm cheap. Kylie, I don't think we're going to. I've made a couple of attempts with CompTIA to get more vouchers, and they're being a little bit of a jerk, to say the least. And so I don't think we're going to be doing vouchers again anytime soon. So I'm very sorry about that. But we're going to. Kylie's still up. Did he hang up on me? Click. Are you still there, Kylie? Um, not a problem. Not a problem. All right. So, guys, if you have any questions for me, it's time to type it in. Is like right now. You paid for my ITF already? Okay, well, Kylie, yeah, it looks like we're a little short on vouchers these days, so sorry about that, brother. So let's go ahead and do a competition. All right. Trying to think of an interesting competition. I think I have one. Give me just a minute. Hold on, I'm checking one thing real quick here, guys. Just have a little bit of fun. All right, so what I want to do is I'm going to talk about Ethernet frames for a little bit because we should know about our Ethernet frames. So our competition is going to be based on Ethernet frames and your knowledge thereof. So let's get ready, guys. Get your fingers on the keyboard. If we look at a classic 802.3 Ethernet, or here, if you want me to be picky, 802.3 Ethernet 2 frame. There's been a lot of versions of Ethernet over the years, but Ethernet 2 has been the only one for 25 years now. If you look at a classic Ethernet frame, what is the very first piece of any Ethernet frame? There's actually two answers here, and I'm going to see what people say, so maybe we can have an interesting competition. All right. First person to type in an answer that I like is going to win 90-day free access to the practice questions of their choice. Nobody's typing anything in, which means everybody is scrambling on Google. Kylie, everybody's looking it up on Google. Go for it, man. Steady as shark. Andre, sorry. Andre, your answer is technically correct, but you have no friends. Justin Miller, we're literally in the middle of a competition. The question is what is the first part of an Ethernet frame? And there's actually two answers that are edible to me. So let's come on, guys. Let's get some answers in here. We got a short day today, but we're still giving away prizes, so let's do it. I'm just giving everybody a moment to type something in. Interesting. Everybody's saying preamble. Last part FCS. Last part is the frame check sequence. It's absolutely right, John. So a lot of people type preamble, which is a good argument, but there is another one that most people consider the true beginning of the frame. All right, looks like everybody's giving up a little bit. Okay, that's not a problem. I will accept the answer preamble. So, Kiyomar, I will give you that. Now, I do need to warn you that a lot of people, including my friend Dave Rush, argue that the preamble is not actually part of the frame. And there is a good argument for that, and that's why I said there's two answers. Because the other real answer to me is the start frame delimiter, which is a one octet that just kind of lets everybody know that the this is where the frame begins. Remember, the preamble is nothing more than alternating ones and zeros that kind of wakes up the receiving card. But the start frame delimiter, in many people's opinion, is where the frame actually begins, not the preamble. So that's why I was more than happy to accept either of those. So Kiamar Perez, Kiamar, I am going to make you the winner of today's 90-day free access. Now, Kiamar, in order to claim your prize, you have to jump through a couple of hoops. In particular, Kiamar, you have to send an email to my buddy Dave Rush. That's Dave R at TotalSim.com. I'm going to give it to so, Vegas Brent just typed in start frame delimiter. So anyway, Kiyomar, in order to claim your prize, number one, you have to send Dave R at TotalSem.com an email, including in the email. Be sure to put your YouTube name, which is going to be where'd it go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Kiyomar Perez. Number two, put your email address in there. Even though you're sending an email, you're going to just use return back to this email. No, no, no. Go ahead and type in the email address as the body of it. And then number three, obviously, let us know which exam you want. So, Kiyomar, big round of applause to you. Congratulations for winning today's prize. All right. So it's a steadiest shark. I'm pretty rough on this topic. To be honest with you, steadiest shark, I'm unaware of any CompTIA certification that requires you to have that level of detailed knowledge. And I just think it's important that people, you should understand what a Ethernet frame looks like and a IP packet as well. Does that mean I have every piece of those things memorized? Yeah, I do. But, that's me because I'm weird, Mr. Vegas. Remember, Kiyomar, in order to get that prize, you must send Dave Rush an email. If you do not send him an email, you don't get no prize. So that's pretty much how it works. Okay, let's. I think that's all the important stuff for today. I think I have everything covered. Anyway, guys, I'm going to cut it off a little early today because I want to celebrate. And I'm going to have a little fun with drinking some more of my Dr. Pepper Zero Calorie. Please don't forget that this Friday is going to be the Dave Rush AMA. Dave's going to be working on, what are you going to be doing this week, Dave? Reverse proxy using Nginx, which I have no idea I know what a reverse proxy is, but I'm not familiar with Nginx. But you definitely check out Dave. You got to keep in mind, everybody gets confused when, Dave Rush doing all this on a Raspberry Pi. It's not so much Raspberry Pi as is Dave is a frugal man, very frugal, okay? And he believes that using a Raspberry Pi can teach a lot of concepts that we learn on A+, Net+, Security Plus at a fraction of the cost of having full-blown systems. And he's absolutely right on this. We'll do things. Do I need to put Ubuntu on it or something? I don't know what that means. On it, what is it? Peter Hunt, it's stuff like this that helps you in the security field. I agree. Donald Dingle, Uncle Mike, please do an AMA for MPLS and SD-WAN. I think we did one. Uh, Don, let's give Dave Rush a moment to do a quick search, but I think we all have already done those. And Don, I think they're great videos. Uh, what I'd recommend you do is go to the Total Seminars channel here on YouTube and do a search because it'll search within there. And I'm pretty sure we did a full blown SD WAN. MPLS is a different animal. Uh, we could discuss MPLS, but I want to treat that as a separate one too. MPLS is fading very quickly right now, uh, primarily because there's better alternatives. I'm not going to say we're even going to do an MPLS, but check out the here. Let's make it this way, Don. Check out the SD-WAN video, which is on here. We did it about a year and a half ago, as I remember, and I think you're going to find that that answers your questions quite well. In particular, what it does is it talks about MPLS as a somewhat more expensive and data technology, and why SD-WAN's kind of take it over. So we'll go with that, and hopefully that'll do it. Uh, There you go. Thank you, David. I knew we had done something on all this before. Yeah, Don, check that out. Don, after watching that video, if you still have questions, feel free to present those to me directly, and I'll be more than glad to answer it. All right, guys, it's 2:30, and it's time for me to start enjoying the 4th of July, so I'm going to bug this one out a little on the early side. I'll be back here on Wednesday, and until then, guys, raise one to the United States of America. My country, right or wrong, but still my country. And to all you Europeans, uh, thanks for dropping in. And I'm out the door here. This is your Uncle Mike saying good night. Bye, guys. I'm out of here.